All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about something that could quite literally save your life on the job: mastering respiratory safety. We're going to break down exactly how you protect yourself when the biggest danger you face is the air you breathe.
So, let me ask you something. When you walk onto your job site, what do you think is the most dangerous thing there? Is it the heavy equipment? The risk of a fall? Maybe the power tools? Seriously, what do you think it is?
For millions of people, the answer is something they can't see, smell, or touch. Yeah, the most dangerous thing in your workplace might just be the very air you're breathing in right now.
Okay, so let's dig into that. We need to really understand what we're actually up against here. This isn't just about avoiding a little cough. We're talking about a genuine, invisible threat.
So who's the enemy? Well, it comes in a lot of different forms. We're talking about tiny, tiny particles of dust, silica, and asbestos. Or things you can't see at all, like welding fumes, chemical vapors, and even toxic gases. You find this stuff everywhere, from construction sites to factories to labs. And I have to be crystal clear about this. These are not just minor annoyances that make you sneeze. No way. Long-term exposure, even to small amounts, can lead to absolutely devastating health problems. We're talking incurable lung diseases, cancer, and permanent damage to your body.
To really bring this home, let's look at what happens when things go wrong. This is a real-world scenario that shows the tragic price of exposure when safety gets ignored.
Look at this timeline. For 5 years, a worker is breathing in silica dust, all because their respirator wasn't worn the right way. Then, year 6 hits, and they get the diagnosis: silicosis. It's an incurable lung disease that just gets worse. When investigators looked into it, the reason became obvious. There was no fit testing, no yearly training, no one even showed the worker how to check the seal on their mask. The most heartbreaking part of all this, it was 100% preventable.
And that prevention, it all comes down to following the rules. There's literally a guidebook for this stuff. It's the OSHA standard 1910-134. Think of this as the playbook, the official set of instructions for staying safe.
Okay, so we have the playbook. Now let's talk about your line of defense. The best way to think about a respirator isn't as just a mask. It's a piece of personal armor, and you have to choose the right armor for the fight you're walking into.
For many situations, your first line of defense is going to be the N95. It's a simple, disposable facepiece designed to filter out particles like dust, super common and really effective, but only when it's used correctly.
When the hazards get a little more serious, you've got to level up your gear. That's where the half-face respirator comes in. It uses these replaceable cartridges that can protect you from not just particles, but a bunch of different vapors and gases too. It's a big step up in protection.
And then, for the most hazardous environments, you bring out the heavy-duty gear, the full-face respirator. This is the ultimate shield. It gives you the highest level of protection in this class, and, this is huge, it protects your eyes from splashes and dangerous vapors.
But listen, having the best armor in the world doesn't mean a thing if you don't use it right. It's only half the battle. So let's go over the essential checklist that makes sure your armor actually, works.
So what do you think is the most important part of any of these respirators? Is it the filter? The straps? Nope. It is, without a doubt, the seal. The seal against your face. If that seal isn't perfect, the respirator is basically useless.
Let me break this down because it's non-negotiable. With a proper seal on clean-shaven skin, all the air you breathe is pulled through the filter. That's full protection. But if you have any stubble or a beard under that seal, it's broken. Air's lazy. It takes the easiest path. So it'll just leak in through the gaps. The filter's doing nothing. You get zero protection. I'm not exaggerating. Zero. This means you've got to follow a strict checklist every single time. First, inspect it. Look for any cracks, damage, anything wrong. Second, put it on correctly. Make sure the straps are snug but not too tight. Third, and this is absolutely critical, you have to check the seal. Do your positive and negative pressure checks. And finally, you got to know how to take it off without contaminating yourself. Now here's the thing. This responsibility doesn't just fall on the person wearing the respirator. Not at all. Safety is a team sport, and everybody has a really important role to play. And that partnership is spelled out pretty clearly. Your employer, they're on the hook to provide a written program, get you medically evaluated, do annual fit testing, and give you solid training. Now on your side, it's your job to use the gear correctly, do those seal checks every single time, and speak up immediately if something's damaged or doesn't feel right. See? Both sides have to do their part.
And the safety standard itself is perfectly clear about this. This is not a one-and-done kind of thing. The rule says training has to be thorough, it has to be understandable, and it has to happen every year, at least. Practice and reinforcement are everything.
So, we're going to leave you with this one last thought. You only get one pair of lungs. That's it for your entire life. After all of this, the only real question left is, what's your next breath worth?